everyone, it's Alexander Waters here from Realmark Karratha. I'm here with Tangiora Hinaki and we're at Ngaarda Media in Roebourne. So this is the second one of our black and white interviews, and I wanted to catch up with Tangiora today. She's been such a vibrant and interesting character that I've known for my time so far in the Pilbara. So Tangiora, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do, like your journey maybe in the Pilbara and what you do now?
I've got a really awesome story, because how I came to be here in the Pilbara was my family decided that we were going to buy a bus, and I had 6 children at the time, and we were going to go around Australia homeschooling. My husband was a shearer, I was a wool classer.
Wow.
So we had our own shearing business, and so we sold a school that we had bought for $20,000 in 1998, and it's south. And it's around a town called Dalwallinu, but it's Pilbara. So we were owners of our own school, and when I was 20 years old, $20,000, we became debt free, 1 acre property, basketball court outside boys and girls toilets, and we turned it into our home. So it was a renovation dream, to learn how to do the jar of floorboards. But we sadly said goodbye to that, and said goodbye to the business, because it was full on, really stressful, and we hit the road. But we only made it as far as the Pilbara.
Yeah, that's like such a similar story to a lot of people. They get to Karratha or the Pilbara and they stop for 6 months, and then it becomes 10 years. So
yes.
How long have you been here now?
Well, this will be my 11th year.
Wow. Okay.
I know. Yeah.
So, and what do you do here at Ngaarda Media?
Okay, so fast forward 10 years later, I've just taken on the management position maybe 3 months ago now. But this place is really dear to my heart, because this is where I actually started my media career. So being a rousey, a wool classer, and then all of a sudden having eyes to see and ears to hear of what my next calling was, which was to become a media guru in a way. And I trained under Julawalu and Yak, Injibandi Aboriginal Corporation, Michael Woodley, Lorraine Coppin. And that's when I started to get a real passion, especially for filming, more so than radio. But I started volunteering, had my own radio show, and then moved on to take on the Saturday breakfast position at ABC Northwest. And it was there where I really honed and refined my skills, because they're really good at what they do. Yeah,
absolutely. And so what does the role involve now? Like, what do you most enjoy about what you do?
So I feel like I can give back now, because I started here 9 years ago, and after being with the ABC for 8 years, I learned so much. So what I'm enjoying is teaching the Ngarangali, the community that are here, empowering them to tell their stories through radio, through photography, through videography. But not only that, I still get to play as well. So I've still got my own breakfast show. I've got the Ngaarda breakfast show Monday to Friday. I'm still a content maker. So on my signature, I've got manager and content maker, because that's what I'm passionate about. I feel so blessed that I can do this for a job. It's just because it doesn't feel like work. It's something that I really enjoy.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I mean, just walking in here, I saw you with the team, and like sharing stories and giving encouragement about how to do certain stuff. This is really cool. I can see you in your element, and it was awesome to capture that. So I wish I'd got it on camera, kind of, but maybe next time. And so tell us about living in Roebourne. It's got a bit of a bad name sometimes, and I don't think we've had this discussion before, and I don't think most people understand the essence of the community here from the outside. Tell us why you love it so much.
Well, when we moved here 9 years ago, we were living at Cleaverville in our bus, and we got told, look, you better find somewhere inland to live, because cyclone season's coming up, the midges are getting bad. And I started to look for empty homes, or just inquire about if there's anywhere we could put our bus, because at the time during the boom, when I got the quotes back from the caravan parks in Karratha, they said $470 a week plus $10 per child per day. We had 6, so that was 700 plus. And I said to my husband, babe, we can get a mortgage for that. And at the time, Roebourne was the cheapest place because it had the stigma. Like, no one wanted to live here because they thought it was dangerous. And at the time, being new to the area, I was hearing this and people would say, why do you want to go there? Do not go there. And I said to Randall, you know, we've been through the Once Were Warriors buzz. If you haven't seen Once Were Warriors, it's a pretty full-on New Zealand film about focusing on a Māori family, domestic violence and all that. So we've both grown up in homes where we've witnessed that. So I said, you know, we've been through a few rough times ourselves. I'm sure we could handle Roebourne if what we're hearing is true. But of course, in that time, it's not true. It's a beautiful community. I think the elders keep this community strong. Nana Violet, Nana Pansy, Uncle David Walker. And I've come to know them over the years. I've come to call them family. And even when I go to places like Newman, I've been all over the Pilbara covering stories, and I meet all the Mātu, or you meet all the other Indigenous families. I always feel like I'm home when I see my own people, in a way, you know, the people I've been hanging out with for the last 10 years. So there are issues in all communities, and I must say, in the 19 years I've been here, there's been a couple of murders in Karratha. You know what I mean? And I'm like, hey, you know, why isn't the city of Karratha getting a bit of flack? Whereas, you know, we've had some extreme things happen, but there's been more so in Karratha and surrounding towns. It's a wonderful place, and I think just recently with all the media frenzy over the latest news about the sexual abuse and pedophiles, it's not factual. I think they've really got it wrong in regards to pinpointing Roebourne like a town that has that's full of pedophiles. And no, it's Roebourne, Wickham, Karratha. They you know, across the board, and that's really sad. I even know someone from Poland who works here, and her parents, you know, rang her from Poland saying, "Oh my gosh, you know, you're living so close to that town. It's a beautiful town. We, you know, the elders care for the younger ones. They have meetings all the time. They're always talking about programs, services, what we can do. So we're moving forward."
Yeah, and I think you know, just to touch on that issue, I recently attended the Parkerville Children's Charity Lunch, and they're a charity based in Perth. They support child abuse, sex abuse victims, or survivors, or whatever word you want to coin that term. And the thing I really learnt out of that is that it happens everywhere, far more than we realise. And I almost feel as though, yes, you're right, it's been blown out of proportion, as you said, but it's probably a blessing in disguise that it's being talked about. Because as soon as an issue is being talked about in the community, it can be addressed and dealt with. And
I think it's a positive story because the elders, the leaders of this community, they're saying, well, yes, here's a result.
Correct.
You know, the police have been involved. We've worked with the police, and those perpetrators, you know, have been charged. But of course, it's not just Roebourne. These sexual predators are in the surrounding city of Karratha towns.
So let's move to another area. I guess what's the thing you really love about the environment of the town, and what's kept you here for so long, other than the people and the community?
Well, I can sleep through the night, even if there's a party going. I think I've gotten so used to the sound of Roebourne. Like, you know, there's a season for everything. There's a season when parties are happening, and there's a season when it's quiet. But the sounds of Roebourne would be, you know, the local church, hearing their gospel music blaring across the town. It travels. You'll often hear Cyril Munder's bands, local bands jamming in the village park. I love it. I love that. They just grab a generator and they go set up on the other side of town by the cemetery and chuck the jetty on, and then everybody, once we hear the music, we all come out of our houses, go along, watch it. And you know, the police have also been quite supportive of that, as long as there's people are not drinking.
Yeah.
They're happy for people to be out there in that public space. We even went so far to put in a light because it was quite dark in that area. So the community spirit of working together, I love the culture. I love hearing the language. I love hearing the stories about, bush tucker, the cultural dancing as well, and the generous heart that the community has, the Indigenous people have. When I say generous, because I'm not from here. I'm an Indigenous person from New Zealand, but I think the colour of my skin and my culture has made it easy to cement myself and call it home.
Yeah.
And Roebourne is a special place, being 150 years old last year. I mean, that's how old this town is, but of course it goes further back with historically with what the local Aboriginal people have been through. But so much history, and now the people are empowered to speak out and tell their stories, to fight against mining, to say look after our rock art, and also to say listen, we are a people, a voice that needs to be heard. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for sharing. I know it's only been a little snippet of what could be a huge story. But for all the viewers, maybe you can just share your where they can look up your media content and things like that. What the best place?
Oh yeah, sure. All right, I'm going to say hello to all the viewers now. Okay, Ngaarda Media. We're at the cutting edge of telling local stories that are going to go national and also spread beyond the nation, all around the world. You can find us on ngaardamedia.com.au, that's our website, and meet our mob, so you'll get up close and personal with the broadcasters. But another exciting breaking news announcement I have to make is that we've got an app. It only went live this week, so download our app, Ngaarda Radio. Tune in to our programs during the week. I'm on every day with the Ngaarda Breakfast Show, 7 to 8. But we've got Rand's Reggae Rhythms. We've got Blue Monday. You can just listen to blues. We've got Marion Cheaty's Cultural Hour, which is a national show. And we're doing wonderful things.
Amazing. So thank you so much for sharing. And thanks everyone for watching another Black and White interview series. And we look forward to catching up next time.